So lately I've been playing a game on Steam called Why Am I Dead at Sea? It's an indie game that's only $10, or it's like $9 or $11. I don't remember. Prices are different in Canada and the States, so it's hard to remember. It's kind of like an RPG Maker game, though, you know, it's not an RPG Maker game. But in the sense that there's no like battle system, but you walk around, you talk to people, and you know, that's pretty much it. A lot of people like to call those kinds of games RPG games. I like to call them walk and talk games, because you walk and you talk, that's all you do. But in doing that, you explore a lot of narrative and story, and you learn about the characters, and you see character development, and lots of cool stuff like that. So the premise of the game is that you have been killed. You're aboard a cruise ship, and you've been murdered. So now you're a ghost, and you have no memory of really who you were or who killed you, and you're trying to solve the case of your own murder. Almost like Ghost Trick Phantom Detective made by Capcom for the DS, but a very different take on it, as instead of possessing objects to solve puzzles, you're possessing people to try and talk to other people as those people, kind of like playing the roles of each of those characters to try and gather more information about your murder. So obviously, as a ghost, your presence in the real world is much too weak to be able to interact with objects, which is why you gotta possess people to use those objects. For example, like opening doors or reading books, opening drawers, looking through stuff. You can't do that as a ghost, so you gotta control someone to make them do it for you. And again, your presence is real weak, so it's not very easy to take over someone's body. So in order to do this, you need to first understand the character and find out their emotional weaknesses and really what makes them tick, I guess, for lack of a better phrase. Once doing this, you're able to possess a person, but not fully yet. You're not fully possessing the person, so it's almost like you're still playing the role of the character, but you can't make them do or say something that they wouldn't know or wouldn't normally do, you know, outside of their personality. So for example, where I'm at in the game, I know all this stuff this guy has, all this weird stuff this guy has in his refrigerator. He's the cook. But if I'm playing as this character, they don't know that because I saw that through the eyes of a different character, so I couldn't make them ask questions about the fridge until I finally fully possessed them. Then I'd be able to ask questions about what's in the fridge, because the ghost knows, but the actual person I'm possessing doesn't. So you're able to fully possess people once you find out more and more about them, and you really dig deep into their backstory, and you really find out, I guess, their emotional problems and backgrounds, and once you fully understand a person, then you're able to fully control them. Now, each of the characters aboard this cruise ship, they all have their own special abilities. Some of them are completely useless, like Alton, the DJ. He really only has the ability to change the music you'll listen to. The first mate, his ability's pretty funny. He takes out a walkie-talkie and starts saying these stupid announcements. It's useless, but it'll give you a good laugh, maybe. Some of them are actually really cool. For example, the chef is able to see where liquid used to stain the floor, like if, oh, there used to be blood here, that kind of thing. Like UV light, I guess. Some people can see what's in other people's pockets. Some people can see what's indoors without, you know, going out of them. Some people can detect which objects are important or not. So that's basically how the game works. Now, the story is something that I've been really into lately. It's really interesting, and I think it's pretty good. A lot of it comes from the character development as you learn about each and every character, and you see their backstories. They have like really interesting backstories, and I think the character development is fairly good. But as you learn more and more about, I guess, your supposed murder, you learn a lot more about the bigger picture, what's really going on, and it kind of goes in a lot of places you don't really expect it to. Now, one thing I don't really like that much about the game is the amount of running around there is. There's a lot of, I need to talk to this character as a certain character, so let me just go get this character, no, go get this character, no. And there's a lot of running back and forth. It's a little bit tedious, but the map is really small. It's really only four rooms with a bunch of sub-rooms. So navigating the world is really quick because the whole map is so small, but there's just, I don't know, it can get a little tedious running back and forth sometimes. That's really my only complaint, other than sometimes it gets really specific what you have to do, and it's not always that obvious to figure it out. Though to compensate for that, there's a character named Paulo. He's the only character who's able to talk to you as a ghost because he has some supernatural ability that lets him talk to ghosts. And if you don't know what to do, you can always see him, and he'll give you a hint to push you in the right direction. But later on in the game, you can't talk to Paulo anymore, and you can't get hints from him. And that makes the game a little bit more difficult than it was. And I felt a little bit stumped at times as to what to do. But anytime I did feel stumped, and I just kept running through characters until one little dialogue option came up. And every time it happens, I'm always like, oh, wow, why didn't I think of that kind of moment? I'm really digging the game's music and art style. It's almost like an Earthbound-inspired style, but it's also really 8-bit. The music has a lot of chiptune, but not like obnoxious, look how retro this is, kind of chiptune, but it incorporates chiptune and modern instruments. And it's a nice mesh. I like the soundtrack a lot. I'm really into the story, and like every time I go to work, the whole day I'm just thinking, what is going on here? And I'm always just thinking back to the game, trying to make sense of like all the character interactions and guessing like it's almost like a whodunit film. You know someone did something, but you're not quite sure, and I'm really excited to figure out who's doing stuff. But yeah, I'm enjoying it quite a lot. I'd highly recommend checking it out. It's only like $10 on Steam. So Why Am I Dead at Sea? Check it out.